a genre-bending production chameleon that perfected the concept of perfection. Alright guys, welcome to numbers 11 through 15 of my top 100 albums of all time. We are getting so close to the top 10, but these 5 records are certainly worth your time, and I'm going to tell you what they are right now. If you haven't already, it'd be awesome if you'd like this video, hit the red subscribe button, and turn your bell notifications on so you don't miss out on any weekly videos I put out. Number 15, Motion City Soundtrack, Even If It Kills Me. This is one of those magical albums where every single track that you hear, you think to yourself, this has to be the best track on the album. And then the next one comes on, you're like, no, this one is. The next one, you're like, oh, this has to be. And then the album's done. This is true pop punk perfection. The band has never sounded as angular and catchy as this record, and I largely attribute that not just to their talent as a band, but to the producer they chose to work with, or I should say producers. Involved with the production of this record are Adam Schlesinger of Fountains of Wayne and Rick Ocasek of The Cars. I mean, talk about pop geniuses. The fusion of all of these talents put together a record that is absolutely perfect. Each song is a bite-sized sugar bomb of wit and the snappy melodies that MCR is known for, along with the sardonic lyricism. It is really difficult for me to put into words how much I love this album. You just gotta trust me if you don't know it. It is musical comfort food better than almost anything I can think of. This is the anniversary pressing of the album, which I love the beautiful art style on here. Excellent gatefold right here. And I picked up one of the limited variants, obviously. This is the pink marble. I think this is a really nice matching touch to the pink on the cover. But I also had to pick up the original. I found a copy pretty cheap once, and it's one of those albums you can never wear out. Number 14, Lil Ugly Mane, Mista Thug Isolation. Lil Ugly Mane makes his second appearance on this top 100 list, and this time it's for the album he will definitely be remembered for in the annals of rap music. Mista Thug Isolation is heavily influenced by the Memphis style of rap. The best example of that is probably 3 6 Mafia. This album explores sex, drugs, and violence in a way that is equally satirical and genuine. Lil Ugly Mane has showed himself in real life to be a lot less bombastic and aggressive than the character he plays on this album, which he accompanies by pitching his voice down to deep voice. But if you take this album as him playing a character, it is endlessly entertaining. He spits fiercely and competently, and his rhymes are twisted and oftentimes hilariously delivered. I mean, he slips the word lugubrious into the chorus of one of his songs just effortlessly. A lot of the production is really lush and jazzy, while still maintaining the heaviness of the Memphis style beats, which is a testament to his production. He produces his stuff and some other people's stuff under the name Sean Kemp, so his production, his rapping, his writing, this album is his baby, and it is beautiful. He honestly might be one of the most, if not the most, underappreciated hip-hop artist of our generation. I have a few pressings of this glorious record. This one right here I'm holding up because I met Ugly, he signed it at a show, which was really cool of him. This is the highlighter yellow repress that wasn't too long ago. But I was also able to track down the die-cut first pressing, which is a really nice little touch. And this is actually the first one I ever bought. This is the repress with the alternate cover art. Number 13, Jimmy Eat World, Bleed American. This is quite possibly the best pop punk album ever made. I know this is very close in the list to Motion City Soundtrack, and I love both those albums. They're 10 out of 10s to me. The only reason this one edges it out is because there was nostalgia associated with it. I listened to this a lot in high school. I was a few years late to the MCS train. They're both clearly high and worth revisiting. Everyone on the planet knows the anthemic The Middle and the pulsing, energetic sweetness, but what some people don't know is that every song on this album is a certified pop punk banger or an emotional roller coaster. Bleed American and A Praise Chorus are blistering, edgy, danceable tracks, while Your House, My Sundown, and Hear You Me will absolutely wreck you. The most underrated cut on the album, in my opinion, is Authority Song, which would light up the floor of any bar in the world at any time of day. I really like this band. I just wish that I loved some of their albums as much as I do this. They are very consistent for what they put out, but I've never been able to connect with the way that I've connected with Bleed American. Thankfully, I was able to track down this Colossal Deluxe Edition to match the trophies on the cover. One side is this kind of clearish gold, this one's a clearish silver, and finally, clear blue. If you like this album and you don't have the deluxe edition, I would try to track it down. It comes with a lot of great covers, demos, and B-sides, essential for fans of this era of Jimmy. Number 12, Kanye West, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Kanye's masterpiece, it's kind of hard to argue that. Coming out of the dark hole that he fell into during the 808 sessions, he brought a team of some of the most talented writers, producers, and rappers to Hawaii to create what is considered by many to be Kanye's best album to date. He found bravery in his bravado, and like a hip-hop phoenix, he rose from the ashes in glorious fashion. A genre-bending production chameleon that perfected the concept of perfection. This album is an absolute feat in music, and a lot of people should be held to this standard when we're considering the best albums of all time. The beats on this album are insane. From the tribal chanting of power to the drumline-like explosion of all of the lights, to the twisted sample of Avril 14th by Aphex Twin, which is a questionable story because there's some hearsay about if he cleared it or not. I don't know what the full story is. Either way, it's hard to argue that he didn't turn it into a beautiful track on Blame Game. Some of Kanye's best bars ever, full stop, are on this record. Most notably on the track Gorgeous, where he pens lyrics and spits lines like he's the greatest rapper of all time, and at that point, he honestly might have been. He pulled career best verses out of Nicki Minaj and Rick Ross, in my opinion, and he also had stellar contributions from Pusha T and Jay-Z. His boys Kid Cudi and Justin Vernon of Bon Iver peppered in their vocals for some background harmonies and hums, which are absolutely perfect sonic textures to add to this juggernaut of a record. If any albums of his deserved an audiophile pressing, it's definitely this one. It sounds okay. It doesn't sound bad, but it could sound so much better. At least it has this unbelievable robust packaging where you can alternate the covers. What cover people choose tells you a lot about them. This was my pick. And finally, number 11, Third Eye Blind's self-titled album, Third Eye Blind. This album is not just nostalgic as hell for me. It is definitely held up with some of the best power pop alt-rock albums ever. You'd be hard-pressed to find someone who doesn't know the track Semi-Charmed Life, and even harder-pressed to find someone that doesn't involuntarily sing along with the do-do-do, do-do-do-do in the chorus. But this album is so much more than Semi-Charmed Life and Jumper. Ultimately, like I said, it's power pop, alt-rock, but it does pull some grungy elements out for some of the songs that gives it a really needed heaviness amongst the extremely poppy melodies. This is one of those albums that I absolutely play front to back every time I put it on because it just needs to be played in that way, and every song is just as good as the last. My favorite Third Eye Blind song is on here, Motorcycle Drive-By, which is the beautiful dichotomy of heaviness and beauty wrapped up into one perfect little track. Say what you want about Stephen Jenkins, I know he's apparently a giant knob, but you know what? He is a damn good songwriter. I think all the first 4 Third Eye Blind records are pretty excellent, but this one definitely takes the cake. And you might be noticing the cream vinyl cover, which you're like, I've never seen that before. What's the deal with that? Well, my friends, I was lucky enough years ago when it went on sale in their store to purchase the Third Eye Blind Deluxe box set, which had all of their records. That was a box set exclusive cover art, and this thing now goes for absolutely bonkers money, but I'll never sell it. Alright guys, next 2 videos are going to finish out this week with the top 10. It's been a long journey, but I hope you guys are finding some amazing albums along the way. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel so you don't miss out on anything I put out because there's lots more coming this year. But for now, let's finish this list up with the top 10 coming to you very soon. Take it easy.